Hey everybody, it's Nathan again with Sampson Farms. Today we're sitting here in our shed we use for the hatchery and brooder, and it's starting to look like a storm's coming up, so I figured I'd get some things done in here. Now, today being Tuesday is the day when our chicks really start hatching out real strong, and come and checked on them, and they're starting to come out of their shells now. But I wanted to talk with y'all about the efficiency of quail in my experience, and why I like them so much. So you can take a quail. I started hatching out this batch of quail 2 Sundays ago. No, 3 Sundays ago. So 3 Sundays ago, I started hatching out. I set the first 40-something eggs in the incubator. Now, with some losses in the rate of hatch and everything like that, we have 20 birds left from that at the 1 week stage, and they're doing fine. So in 2 weeks, about 2.5 weeks, I have tripled the size of my quail. I had 10 adult quail that I bought back in the spring. Well, I bought 10 quail chicks back in the spring to just bring in some more quail on the farm because I really like them. After I brought them in, my last few remaining old quail passed away. So I just had them. I had to wait a little while for their eggs, and I let them lay for about a month. And then I started collecting eggs to hatch out to build the numbers back up. So with just the first setting of eggs, I have tripled the size of my quail. And with that, the quail that were hatched last week, and they're a week old today, in 5 more weeks, they'll start laying themselves. And if there's some in there that I don't want to lay, in 9 weeks from now, I could harvest them and put them in the freezer. And you're not going to get a chicken or hardly any other farm animal to start out with, other than, say, rabbit, that is going to produce for you in that amount of time. And if you're looking for something that's small to start out with, that doesn't take a lot of resources or a lot of time or energy to just get starting with something homesteading, I'm a huge proponent of quail. It doesn't take much. I go and check on the big quail once a day. I go make sure that their feeder's full, make sure that their watering system has plenty of water in it, and every couple of days I give them some sand to play around with, and I collect their eggs once a day. But a lot of people start out with chickens. It's fine to start out with chickens. I'm not knocking chickens. They're a good bird. They just take several more months to get up to whatever you want them to do, unless they're like a Cornish cross, and then it still takes several weeks, and then they're ready. But they're not laying eggs. That does take several months, but with the quail, you're getting eggs and meat from them. But that's about it for this video. I just wanted to do a small video on why I really like my quail. I really enjoy them. I like sitting out by the cage and just watching them play and interact with each other. They're very comical. They all have their own personality. I know these little guys are going to be hard to see, these darker ones, but they're starting to push out of their shells. I've got eggs wiggling with them trying to come out and stuff. So far, so good. Here are the week-old quail that were hatched out this time last week. And I did make some adjustments to the brooder. I took and put a pop-in box in the side of this old horse trough stock tank. And the reason I turned it into a brooder is because we're using it for stock tank for several years, and then it developed a split in it, and it just didn't work as well. So we got a new one, and instead of throwing this one away, it is now the brooder. And with these little birds, it's such a large area for them, and they're so active anyway. I've got 2 waterers and 2 feeders in here, kind of spread out, so they can always find food and water. Here are the adult birds so far here on Sampson Farms. This pen is one that we built last year, something like that, for a grow out pen, and then when we got these birds, we just put them in there. They seem to like it. I built the little box here that I put sand in it every couple of days for them. They'll dust bathe in it. This little box here is their nesting box. They will get in there and lay eggs. So I got a big feeder and then a watering system that them and the chickens share. Everyone now and then I'll put some cucumbers and stuff in there, and they have grit and oyster shell to help. And I put the feeder up higher than them, so they have to actually get in and dip their neck over it. They seem to waste a lot less feed. Not that it's much of a problem, because any feed they knock off there, the chickens are gonna get. Guys, I hope you liked the video. Please like it, share it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It really does help us all out. Thank you, everybody, and God bless you. Have a good day.